Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, you're going to have Nick. Nick is from England in the UK. So let's see what Nick has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. And you, William?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, tell me, how was your day today?
Busy, very busy, but that's sort of pretty much every day, even the weekends where it shouldn't be. But I fill my days.
It's amazing. I love being busy. I think it's amazing for you to be able to be on it. I know sometimes the balance is it's healthy as well. However, I think when you can manage both and you can, have yourself in a place where you are being productive, I think is a great place to be.
Very true. Yeah. The balance, as you say, productivity is essential. Downtime is essential to be productive.
So tell me, what was the highlight of your day today?
So all the children were here for a very short window. So that was the highlight, seeing them all. So there's my son, my bonus daughter, and my son's girlfriend.
Oh,
Definite wins.
tell me where you're from, Nick.
Where am I from?
Yeah,
As in the UK, whereabouts in the UK?
as well. Where's you
Yes,
from?
Sandhurst.
So where? Sorry,
Sandhurst.
where is that?
That's in Surrey. Well,
Oh,
to be fair, it's the Surrey, Berkshire, Hampshire border. So I live, if I walk 1 kilometre one way, I'm in one county. If I walk a kilometre the other, a different county, another kilometre, another county. So yeah, I'm
and
lucky. I can run 3 counties if I do a 3K run. It's great.
that's amazing. And
Cheating, but yeah.
that's the place where you're born and raised.
So I was born in London, but yeah, I was raised in Frimley, which is about 4 miles away.
I see. Amazing. Right, so let's start the interview talking about. I was checking a little bit your profile, and I could see that you are a coach and also a massage therapist, a sports massage therapist. So tell me a little bit about your job, how everything started.
Well, to be fair, that's only a very small part of my job. So I work Monday to Thursday for a commercial laundry, and then I have my own business. So what you see on my profile is my business rather than my day job. So
Okay.
hence me being very busy because I squeeze those and then family and everything else in and around it. Um, so a lot of my day job, I'm a learning and development manager, which means I coach a lot and train and support people in business to achieve what they need to achieve. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where that personal business on coaching fits as well, because the whole goal for me is to help people be the best they can in the ways that they can. So for massage, that might be somebody comes to me with an injury or they just want some downtime to be better. That's nice and simple. Coaching, for me, my niche with coaching is people who are high uniform. So high demand uniform, that's sort of your police, your fire service, your army, your RAF. So people who are constantly busy, they don't necessarily hold normal hours, or if they're lucky enough to so-called have a shift, they might end up doing an extra 4 or 5 hours. And then I support their partners as well. So when you've not been used to that lifestyle, it's a very strange thing to say, okay, so you don't understand how civilian world works. After a couple of years, you're institutionalized so well, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
they need to do, that you sort of go, okay, so what time are we going? We're going to go meet. No, I can't. I've still got work to do, or I've still got this, or I've got to be on parade. And the partner's going, yeah, but we said we were going to be here at, and it can't happen. So it's a very strange, weird world to live in and exist in whilst, trying to juggle everything else. And then if you had kids in and all the other complexities. So for me, that's my passion. That's where I really enjoy being, is supporting them both whilst they're in, but also when they're going from being in into, I'm going to say civilian, because again, police are civilians. However, they're institutionalized. So quite often what you'll find is people from services move into something where they're comfortable, like the police or like the fire service. And again, they're just maybe changing uniform. Some
Okay.
people do move into civilian world, but then they struggle to sort of join it wholeheartedly, trying to understand it, understand the language. In some instances, one of the people I was coaching today, they explained that they'd spent so long from being a teenager to adulthood, having
Wow.
everybody else do things for them, that, you know, when they then had their own house, they didn't know what to do. And almost their partner went, it's fine, I'll sort it for you. But now they're in their 50s and they're like, okay, I do sort of know how this works, but I don't truly know how this works. So, you know, it seems mad, but it's just the way it is. So for me, that's my passion.
I love that. I love that, Nick. I think it's amazing for you to be able to, somehow work with people and help them, to be themselves. At the end of the day, it's about help them to be their better self. I think that's the whole job, the whole work, and I'm sure it's your passion. And when you can step in and somehow help them, I think that's the biggest joy of it. I see.
Definitely. I think they find quite often I'm more annoying because all we do as coaches is really ask lots of questions. And when you think you've given an answer, and then a coach goes, but do you really mean that? Or I've heard this, which suggests, and they're sort of going, yeah, okay, thanks. You get the results, but it's an uncomfortable sometimes position to get yourself to that result. So yeah, I'm sure we're loved at points.
Amazing. Okay, Nick, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Of course.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box.
Yay.
So I have his best friend. Wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Of course.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Of course.
Amazing. First question is, what do you like the most about yourself?
Oh, my ability to still get up and go even sometimes when I don't want to.
It's a good one. And when you analyze yourself, when you think about you, what's the biggest joy of being Nick? What do you like the most about, be your true self?
Ooh, very good questions. You should be a coach. I guess just being alive, having that ability to get up in the morning and do things, make decisions, make choices. I'm very lucky that I get to make choices. So that for me is probably the best part of being me.
And what's something about you that you know that you need to improve or you've been working on, but somehow it's still there and you know that you need to put some time in there? There is something you could share?
How long do you have, William? That could be a whole lifetime of stuff. So exercise, eating, boundaries, life challenges, you name it. I'm sure I'm no different to anybody else that I coach.
I see. Okay, I'll check that. Next question, let's do it. Hey, Nick from England. Okay, next question is, what's your favorite artist of all time and why?
And when you say art, is it musical? Is it art? Doesn't matter.
When you think about an artist inspiration, what's the first that comes to your mind? Oh, top three. Tell me top three in your list.
Okay. David Grohl from Foo Fighters, although I must admit he's dropped slightly based on the last couple of years worth of news. I held him too high. That bar was way too high. Other artists. Any of the prima ballerinas, to get to that level must be, on it. I know how much training that takes. And I didn't get anywhere. So that's impressive. And I think, although not famous, My bonus daughter, when she does art, so she's was doing art, she's given art up for GCSE, and I look at what she does, and for me that's inspirational. So she, as I say, she's not a famous artist, but you know, she does some amazing work.
Wow. Okay, so let's pretend that one day you're gonna wake up in the morning. It's gonna be easy for you on this question. You're gonna wake up having 3 missed calls on your phone for those three you just mentioned right now. Which one straight away? Which one you send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you don't send a message, you just ignore them.
The prima ballerina I would ignore. David Grohl I would text back if I was lucky enough for him to even know who I was. And then obviously my daughter, my bonus daughter would be the one that would probably need me, so I'm probably best off answering.
Oh, and so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from her, from your daughter?
That blended families are not as easy as I thought. You know, she is culturally different. She has a very different relationship with her dad and her mum. And I am confusing because I'm not like either of those, and I have my own set of boundaries and rules. So yeah, she's teaching me every single day that I thought I was quite good, and I'm still learning.
And how she came into your life?
So she met me 5 years ago, when Dad and I had been together talking for a while, met a few times, and then she got introduced to me and my son at the same time to sort of try and break the ice. You know, the benefit of a child with a child, slightly less scary. And then she's had the fortune or misfortune, as she might occasionally say, of having me in it since. So I got married to her dad this year. So she's not getting rid of me quite so easily.
And what's the biggest joy of being a mom, Nick?
Oh, there are so many. I'm not sure there is one that you can pick out, but it's the ability to do that love. You know, you can love a partner.
Yeah.
And I've been told by those who have grandchildren, it's a different love again for them, but it's completely different. And no matter how much they might drive you crazy or screw up or do all of those things, the love that you have for them is constantly growing. They make you see the world with new eyes.
Wow. Of course, you know, having our dearest one around us, our family, friends, they are people that we care a lot, and they are always in the same boat for us, you know, when we share love. But for nowadays in your life, for one reason or another, or for circumstances, which person you are more connected with or more close to right now?
Right now would probably be my husband, who is my friend as well. And that's because we work in the same sphere. We both work from home most of the time. We see each other 24/7. So yeah, he's probably my closest best friend in that sense. I'm very lucky to have others.
Wow. Okay, so your husband is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
I love you, darling. Thank you for being in my life.
Oh, sweet. I've got goosebumps now saying that. It's a love it.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good day today. Don't hear me on one of those days where we're you know in the same space for too much.
beautiful. Next question. Okay, so before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a coach? What do you like the most about it?
I like the fact that I'm learning every time somebody shares something with me. You know, they trust me hugely with the intimate information that they maybe never ever told anybody else. And the fact that they trust me with that means I learn something new about them. I always learn something about myself. And the hope is that, you know, I'll help them get to a place where they really want to be. Sometimes people don't want to get there for their own reasons, despite saying they want to. So yeah, those are some of the best bits.
And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about it?
Most challenging part is seeing how sometimes somebody could help themselves, and for whatever reason they can't. They're stuck in that moment. They can't see it. They don't want to. As a coach, you can't ever say to somebody, you need to be doing this, or stand there and shake them, as much as that might be the internal piece that you're doing. And, you know, I'm no different. Even as a coach, there are probably many people who can tell me what I could be doing differently and want to shape me. But yeah, we can't do that. So that's frustrating at times.
I see. All right. Next question is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Okay, I'm perimenopausal, so cute little kittens through to anything at the moment can make me cry. There's almost no limit. And what makes me happy? Seeing other people happy, seeing them value themselves through to my children. I mean, even this is clearly perimenopause, even a very cute flower in spring will make me go, and if I'm in the wrong moment, that could make me cry. So, you know, no rhyme or reason.
Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Yes and no, which isn't really a helpful answer. So yes, I don't believe you have to be happy. I believe people need sadness in life to be able to spot when they're happy. But I think you can choose when you're happy and when not to be. It doesn't always feel that way for people, I get, but yeah.
When do you feel the happiest in your life? When you think about your life briefly, tell me something that you go like, wow, that was one of the moments that's always gonna have close to my heart.
Probably my son doing his handing over speech. It's like a best man speech, but you know, to have the luxury of having my child there and having him share what he thinks of me. And the fact that he's managed to say those things twice, 2 different wedding ceremonies, and make most people almost in tears, that made me happy.
Oh, what's the biggest difference between you and your son and the biggest similarity?
Biggest similarity, we're probably both very stubborn when we want to be. I always blame his dad, but you know, I think he's pretty sure that's me. And the similarity, he's very driven. He's motivated when he wants to be, and he knows where he wants to go, and he's driven to get there.
What's your star sign astrology, Nick?
I think I'm a Capricorn. Is that
December, January?
Yeah, January, Capricorn.
My sister's Capricorn, actually. Very strong personality, very strong personality.
So I believe I was very much into it when I was a kid, and not so much as I've got older. It sort of drifted up.
And when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Oh, I think there are loads, and again, it's a real struggle. But I think one of the happiest memories is being surrounded by like my grandfather, and his brother, and sort of those sort of family members who are no longer with us.
And do you have a big family?
No, I don't have a very big family. So there's me, my brother, and my parents, and then unfortunately, my mum's mum died before I was even thought of twinkled. And my dad's dad died when he was 8. So we then had, you know, the other parents, but neither one of them sort of lasted beyond my 20s. So yeah, quite a small family.
I see. Next question. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, of course, Christmas is just around the corner, yeah? So tell me, what's the meaning of Christmas for you? Do you like celebrating Christmas?
I do. I love Christmas. It's the magic. So it's not the commercial magic. It's that ability for you to do something special for someone else that makes them happy or caring. That's not, you know, necessarily the buying of gifts. That might just be showing somebody the way to live their life slightly better by having them in and doing something with them.
And on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, do you have like a routine, something that you do every Christmas, or watch a movie, or there's something that you need to do it? There's something that you cannot miss it or not? You just go with the flow?
Probably wrapping presents, because that needs to be done for Father Christmas, and I still do stockings. So I still, despite the children being well and truly over the age, and my other half going, yeah, I will still do a stocking and then I will put them out. So that's probably the only thing. Even before my current husband, when I was married before, that was always a requirement we had to do. So that would be it.
I see. All right. Next question is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Oh, I mean, I'd love to actually travel. So whilst I'm still physically fit and able to travel, there's lots of places I want to go. I want to go back to Cuba, but they wouldn't let me live there. I mean, such a shame. So yeah, I probably am going to still be living in the UK, but for the retirement time, I'm hoping I'll spend most of it out of the UK with just coming back for short windows.
And if you could go anywhere in the world right now, if you had superpower of just in the blink of eyes be somewhere right now, where that would be and why?
Right now, I'd probably opt for San Francisco. So my nephew turned 3 last week. And
Wow.
because they're in San Francisco, I don't see my brother or his wife or my nephew very often. So I'd love to go see my sister-in-law. She got a new job a few months ago. I'd love to see my nephew because he loves basketball and I bought him a basketball net. So I would like him to do that. So yeah, just spend time with family.
Amazing. Next question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Okay, Nick, next question is, if you could go back in one time or in a moment in your life, in a memory, for any reason, what that would be and why?
I think if I had the chance to go back, is that to make some change or just to go back and revisit?
Revisit it.
Probably the point where my child was, just born within that time frame when he was still quiet and couldn't talk back and, still look cute.
Wow. Tell me the moments when, you became a mom for the first time. Tell me the day, was it easy for you? You were expected, you were excited, you were emotional. Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, so my husband at the time had just recently came back from a tour and unfortunately was injured. So he was in plaster from his toes all the way up to his hip. And we were having to do regular sort of trips to and from therapy for him. And then I woke up in the morning thinking something feels slightly off. Little did I know that that's contractions. Tried to make a cup of tea, wondered why that was uncomfortable for a change. And then went, then that paused for a bit, like 10 hours or so. And then it kicked back in. And because he wasn't able to drive, and you're not allowed to drive when pregnant, I had to have an ambulance in blues and twos drive me. Very embarrassing, very, very embarrassing. Stepping off the ambulance, my waters broke. Hugely embarrassing at that point because that feels like you're wetting yourself, which I can assure you people is not great fun. So that was embarrassing. It was almost like every stage of my pregnancy up to giving birth was really embarrassing. And then, I had been doing self-hypnosis. I'm generally fairly relaxed.
Right.
And I've been trying to do that. I don't get on well with drugs. So they tried giving me gas and air and it made me feel sick. So I passed it to my then husband who needed it because he was standing most of the time whilst I was giving birth. So I was worried about him. I was being told off by the midwife because I was more worried about this guy stood there who in severe agony, but sucking on the gas and air whilst giving birth. So yeah, it's a bit of a comedy of errors really, but beautiful boy was born. So yeah, the birth part seemed really easy, not comfortable, but really easy. I was very lucky.
And how was the feeling when you saw him for the very first time?
Absolutely worn out. Something about several hours of giving birth is going to wear you out. But yeah, it's just amazing. We as humans being able to create this little thing and, whether it be male, female, create life and have and see that, that's amazing. So yeah, I was in awe.
Wow. And what's the meaning of life for you, Nick, when you think about life?
Depending on the day, sometimes it's just getting through the day. And sometimes it's making all of those little interactions to make life better for yourself or someone else. Smiling on the bus when somebody's looking miserable, handing a tissue when you can see somebody's crying, but they're trying very hard not to. Putting money in the pot for somebody who's homeless. And, none of us really carry cash anymore. So maybe it's offering them a drink or buying a pizza and giving it to them without them even having to ask. So it's all of those little things for me.
Totally. I think it means a lot. Those little gestures sometimes for us can be something very random, but for some other people, it can mean the day, even a lifetime can mean something that you're always going to remember. I think sometimes we need to watch. It's life talking to us. You know what I mean? When we have this opportunity somehow to give a smile or to hand in a shake. It could be anything, something simple. I believe that it's just life talking to us for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
3 questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing?
I do love dancing. Yeah.
When you can hear the music, yeah?
Exactly. I mean, I'm imagining it's a sort of a samba or something of that nature. Bassa.
I'm from Brazil, so I'm put some Brazilian music. Okay. It gives me this good vibe when.
Excellent.
Next question is: do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves. People not putting the toilet lid down, emptying the bins, leaving stuff whilst walking past it on the stairs. You know, more family stuff, really. General manners, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think those things, it just can hit us and it's difficult to let it go.
Yeah, generally, especially when my husband's got ADHD, and whereas before I knew him or fully understood it, I'd have thought somebody was just doing it to annoy you, like they purposely left it on the stairs. It's not. He just doesn't see it. He doesn't remember it's there. So yeah, I've learned in the last 5 years to let a lot more go than I probably would have done before.
And how did your path cross for the first time, if you can share?
The joys of internet dating. So I moved during COVID, and I moved several counties from where I was. So I lived in Colchester, which is in Essex, and moved back for work, and didn't really know anybody, had no connections other than my son and my parents. And because my son had come to college here, so he was living with my parents. So it was like, oh, okay, hello child, hello parents, and now I know nobody. So I had to start finding that. And one of the ways you do that is obviously dating sites. You end up sometimes with friends. You end up thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I'm not stuck with you. And he reached out. And I guess the rest is history, effectively. You spend a lot of time talking during COVID dating more than doing anything else that other people do now in modern dating when you've got access to each other again.
Who fell in love first, do you think, in your opinion, between both of you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I would almost be tempted to say him.
Okay.
But that requires different emotional bits. So I think that's sometimes where that's the challenge. Somebody for ADHD might have that, and then you can easily annoy them within seconds. So I would say it's a very much fluctuating circumstance, but yeah, probably more him first than me.
Wait, 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, being a coach and also being a massage therapist, both of them, you deal with a lot of energy. Yeah, during the session, I'm sure this, you give away a lot, you take a lot as well. It's sharing moments, and sometimes those energy can be a bit draining or not very positive, which is part of the journey as well. So my question for you is, do you have like a mechanism or something that you do not to somehow take this energy into your personal life or somehow to block it, if you know what I mean? Or how do you do that?
So I try very hard to, if you like, put it in a box and leave it at the door. I studied for a while as a counsellor, and you have to do at least 50 hours. And I worked out counselling's not for me. I might need it, but I can't do it because you're going over all the same stuff, and sometimes nobody wants to move forward. Hence why I'm a coach, because I like people to move forward. And I learned really quickly that if I went to every session and took that was just weighing on me. So I now sort of go, I want to send you away with happy light vibes, but I'm not taking that on. Sometimes I might stand there and put my hands on the floor, so that's a bit like a grounding thing. Or I might go train. So my clinic is in a gym studio location, so I might go do a workout, and that is amazing for clearing it down. Or I just go read a book, have some me quiet time. I'm an introvert anyway, so me time is awesome.
Wow.
That helps.
And for you, this curiosity just came to my mind right now. As soon as you're gonna, start your session, as soon as you're gonna connect, provide your service, do you get the energy straight away? Do you kind of feel that's gonna be maybe a more challenge one, or gonna be easier one, or for you it's just during the process that you start to somehow feeling the vibe of the session?
If it's massage, normally I'm trying to bring a relaxed but energized session. So if it's a sports massage, it's normally I'm trying to be more energized.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find the conversation makes me energized. If it's a coaching session, again, I normally try and stay calm, but I try and maintain that throughout. So I don't try and go into it going, it's going to be challenged, because that's me judging it. And that's not really what I'm meant to do as a coach. So I just try and keep it calm and relaxed, and then see where it leads.
Amazing. Next question is, tell me 3 fun facts about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
3 fun facts. Okay. So I used to dance on poles because I like to dance.
Amazing.
I went and so not long after I got separated, divorced, I went to Cuba with my son. So I took him away for 21 days, and we went to Cuba, and we traveled in a bus from top to the bottom and back again. Amazing. But a lot of that time in the evenings, other than drinking rum, was spent dancing. And when I came back to the UK, I then needed to go do salsa. I couldn't not have a night where I wasn't salsaing.
Wow.
So I went and did Monday night lessons, and joined salsa classes. And still, probably not a surprise to any of my friends, I still like the dancing. It's just now I'm that little bit older, I can't party until 4 o'clock in the morning as often, and my friends are now more spread out, and they definitely don't all want to party until 4 a.m. either. So yeah, probably don't get to do that as much.
And why Cuba?
Why Cuba? Well, actually, I gave my child the chance. I said, where do you want to go? And I was thinking Vietnam and Cambodia, which would be amazing. And
Yeah.
he said Cuba. He wanted Cuba. And I was like, great. I don't know whether it was Fidel Castro and that history piece for him.
Right.
Whether it was the food. I mean, he likes rum now, but he wasn't old enough to drink back then. Yeah, and it was the most amazing trip. The
Wow.
people are so lovely, and we didn't stay in hotels. So I know when people say Cuba, they quite often mean the expensive 5-star resort near Havana,
Yeah.
and we weren't. We were in casas, so people's homes, traveling, meeting real people, seeing as much as a tourist ever can do, but more of the cultural reality, like no lighting. That in some of the places where forget it, you spent all night walking around either with your phone or a candle because the electricity had gone off.
Wow.
Having to buy a card for your internet access and going to a park to do all of those things. Completely different world, but amazing. And as I say, food, drink, people, amazingly lovely. I would willingly go back in a heartbeat.
I think that's the best trips you can ever make, when you are able to live how the people live, their daily routine. I think that's how. It's, of
Yeah.
course, it's great to be in a resort and enjoying. However, you just get to understand more about the culture, about the people, about the place where you're in, when you go through on their daily routine. I think that's the best way of learning. Sometimes it can be a challenge, of course, because of the language barrier or the habits or the weather. Could be a lot of things. However, if you just explore and go with the flow, that's how you learn the culture. I love that as well. I love going to those places and just enjoy, get with the locals, people that they are there. And that's how things in the Latin blood, people that we are very welcoming as well. You know what I mean? When we can feed 2 people, can feed 3, where we can put 2 people to sleep, we find a way to put 4. So it's
Yeah.
a thing that we have, and people, they appreciate that.
I think from that point of view, and when we were on our trip, we were lucky enough to be with people from Paraguay, Brazil, and it's, as you say, one of my friends here, she's from Cuba, and it's that buzz for life, but that willingness, having gone through potentially hardships, and she would question how hard it is for her in comparison to others, but that making the most of everything,
Totally.
that vitality that you get from that I love. Absolutely.
I see. Last question. Ready? Let's do it. Last question. Okay, but before the last question, through your career as a coach and also as a therapist, so tell me two situations that, for one reason or another, you always have gonna have close to your heart. Could be a feedback, or could be maybe a session that was special. Could be anything that you feel like you could share and is special for you.
So one that is special for me is an unofficial coaching. So as a coach, obviously I have learned certain skills. Some people would say that I maybe was annoying and always asking questions and being constantly curious. For a coach, you have to be constantly curious. And for me, it was a conversation with a friend where they were struggling to process some information, come to a resolve, and just being able to have that conversation with them as a friend and be there non-judgmentally for them. That for me is one of the ones that I hold close to my heart, because sometimes it's not so easy when they're your friends not to be wanting to jump in and fight their battles for them or give them a solution, because of course you know what's better for them. You say
Totally.
and another one that's probably close to my heart is the inability to help. So my first husband and I, most of the reasons I do what I do comes from that. And my child was, around. His dad and I didn't always get on. His dad was struggling with transitioning from being in the service to being a civilian, was never quite settled. And I really desperately wanted to help. And despite what I was trying to do, not realizing that obviously I can't help until he's ready to help himself.
Right.
And unfortunately for us, our relationship then broke down and we ended up going separate ways. We're friends, or friendly, which is great. He's happily married, which I'm over the moon about. He has additional children as well as the one we share, and he's in a really happy and amazing place, and so am I. So for me, that's great, but I just wish I could have done more in that space.
You just made me remember about my parents, Nick. My parents, I grew up, see my parents are very young. My mom is only 61 now. My dad is 60.
Wow.
So they're very young. So I grew up, with this very young parents. And when I look back now, they didn't know how to be to parent. It's just your instinct of being a parent. But looking back now, they were in a time of their life that they still want to explore the world. So they still want to live a life. And of course, they had children, me and my sister. So it was a different concept. And I remember seeing them sometimes having those crush, for different reasons. And once we kind of became an adult and they separated, I never seen my parents so happy in their lives that I seen right now. And of course, in the process of the divorce wasn't easy, or it's not easy for anyone. However, when it finished, they, I see my dad. Both of them. My dad have another wife, which is younger than me, by the way. Got kids as well. My mom got a boyfriend, which as well is younger than me. However, I look at them, I talk to them, and I see how happy they are, and they can talk between them as well. They are not, there is something in there. There's always gonna be, could be the connection with my sister. However, they have a different lives now, and they're so happy. And sometimes, sometimes I know it's difficult, but sometimes separating, going in different directions is the only way to go. You know what I mean? I know it's not easy, but it's talking now, it straight away came to my mind, the memories about my parents, and I see it then, I go, oh my God, you should have done that so much younger. But I understand, it's just they were just navigating through life as younger parents. So I get your point for sure.
Sometimes you just go through the motions, don't you, to survive, and you don't know, or you're scared about being apart, or the impact. I know lots of people stay together because of the impact for the children.
Totally.
And
yeah.
They sort of sometimes don't realize is the whole time you're together, you're still impacting the children. It's just, can you navigate that water separately rather than, and that's where coaches and counselors and therapists are really useful to help you do that.
Absolutely. And I think that's, I remember like my mom sometimes when she was like very stressed with situations, I remember her, she never kind of verbalized, but I think they were together because of me and my sister. They still want to raise us. They still to try because they want to have this family thing that everyone sees as this,
Yeah.
sometimes
The
not just.
Hollywood.
Yes, the perfect, everything is blue skies, perfect life, you don't have problems. The problem just happens with the neighbors, it never happened in your household. However, it's
Yeah.
not like that. So sometimes you just need to face it, and somehow find a way. Because I think the main thing is about being happy. You cannot, spread happiness or love others if you don't love yourself or you are not happy with yourself. So I think, as a child, I didn't understand that. For me, it was just a normal for me, you know what I mean? But nowadays, when I look back, I think it was necessary. I think, oh my God, if they didn't, I would step in. Said, you know what? Let me step in now. Let's do something about it. But they did before I kind of, went there. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Okay. Last question is, if you could have been in a moment or event in history, which one that would be and why?
That's got me stumped. I guess I'd love to have been there for the moon landing to know whether it actually happened or it didn't. I mean, there are so many times in history I'd be like, oh, I quite fancy seeing that, but I don't want to be in it. Like if you talk about World War I or World War II, that would be fascinating but horrendous at the same time. Or Victorian era, any of those, fascinating to see, but no. Whereas moon landing, actually, I think I could probably quite happily be there in a suit and watch whether it landed and people bounced around or not.
Imagine
or if it's the studio.
There was a controversy at the time. I think still nowadays, I think some people, they don't believe that it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. Good point for sure. I would love to be there as well. Right, so not yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? Let's start with money.
Thanks.
Fear.
Heights.
Life.
Enjoyable.
Family.
Love them. That's too honest.
It's okay. Religion.
Questionable.
Love.
Always.
Sex.
Love it.
Politics.
Frustrating.
Friendship.
Great.
Desire.
Needed.
Regret.
Always.
Success.
Hopefully.
Wish.
Future.
Happiness.
Yes.
One word for England.
UK. So I am Scottish, but I live in England, and I really struggle at the moment. There are lots of people who have lots of English flags, and it's all about England. And I almost want to go, you realise that we are made up of so many different countries, of which the UK is Scotland and Wales and Ireland, and we're intimate. I really struggle with UK, England as just being its own defined.
Good point. One word for sport massage.
Painful. Mine will be tomorrow morning. I've got mine tomorrow. I know it's going to be painful.
One word for coaching.
Great.
And the last one now, the name of your business. Therapy for body and mind. One word.
Help.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your husband for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Nick in one positive and one negative word only. What he'll say.
Positive word, supportive.
Okay.
Negative word, listening.
Ooh. Let's play now, Nick, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, but before you ask me the question, people watching this interview right now, maybe they would like to work with you as a coach. They would like to have you guiding them, somehow as a coach. What's something about the job that you provide that stands out compared with other coaches around the globe?
So I provide support to those who are in high demand uniform roles and their partners from the point where they are thinking about moving out of the roles they're in and moving to the point where they are comfortable in a civilian. Lots of other coaches will do one. I will work with both in parallel and then work with them combined at the end to make sure that they set the boundaries and find a way forward together.
Amazing. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Nick.
So what's the best memory you have from childhood?
Oh my God, what a great question. What a sweet question. You know what? Growing up in the 80s, I think it was such an amazing privilege, I must say, because I remember my mom done technology. I remember for you to see friends, just need to make it. And I remember playing, trees and growing up in a small city where there was a lot of fruits and, everything around me. So I think I'm very lucky to be able when I look back. But there is a memory that for me is very special. My very first day at school, and I'll tell you why. I remember. I'm talking to you. I can picture myself holding my colleagues' hands and going to the classroom because I always wanted to start school. I remember, like, I have two cousins. They are older than me, 3 years. And I remember for at least 2 years before I started going to school, I was crying because I wanted to go because I saw my cousin going to school. And fun enough, 1 year before I started going to school, my grandmother, she asked the teacher, the head teacher, if I could attend at least the first day with my cousin because I was crying. I want to be there as well. And I think my mom has a picture of me sitting down, like very excited with my cousin. She was very upset because she felt embarrassed to have her cousin the first day at school. But I was there with my eyes shining on the first day. So yeah, so back to your question, that was a very special moment for me because I waited I don't know, I waited for so long for that first day at school that the first day I remember like vivid, like going to school with my uniform. My very first teacher, she was my idol. I remember I was so happy having her because it was a dream come true. So for me, the happiest memory, for no doubt, is going to school for the first time on my first day, for sure.
We just made a whole load of teachers very happy because most kids going to school isn't necessarily their happy moment.
And fun enough, my very first teacher, because I was so excited, my mom used to tell me that when I was getting home, I was so excited talking about her, about what I've learned, this and that. But halfway of the term, she needed to leave because she was pregnant when she started. So one point she needed to leave. My mom was a bit worried if I would lose interest because I was so happy about her. I loved her so much. But fun enough, the second teacher came along and I connect straight away with her as well. So it was okay. I remember her name was Marcia, her name. I remember my second teacher. And I remember she was quite tiny, but she loved dancing. So I remember when we had this school celebration, she was dancing. I was dancing with her as well. So somehow I managed to finish the first year without any trouble because my first teacher left to have a baby. It was
Oh,
fun.
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the interview, Nick?
I did. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a very busy person to make the time for the interview. I think nowadays we are so busy, and when someone take their time for us, I think it's very precious. So I'm thankful again for your time and for you to make time for the interview.
Obrigado.
There you go, a little bit of Portuguese. Before you go,
One word. Or O or A. And it's not complex, that one I can do.
yeah, obrigado for men, obrigada for women. Yeah, you did very well. Before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
So the positive message I would say is you're never alone.
Mhm.
You might feel that way, but just reach out. There will be plenty of people who are willing to support you, who you may never even know. Even stood on the edge of a bridge considering the worst, random strangers come up and support. So always reach out, never feel that you're alone.
Amazing, so true.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, William, and thank you for your time.
The pleasure is all mine. Regards to your family and friends, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, have a good night.
Wonderful. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.